So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 53 of our Aston Martin Saves. Now, if you didn't watch last week's episodes, my god, go back and watch them. I've also uploaded a little short as well from last Thursday's episode and this Grand Prix, the Spanish Grand Prix. What a race it was. We got our first ever 1-2 as a team and Pierre Gasly won it, unfortunately for Fernando Alonso, who did make a mistake on track. But Fernando Alonso on the last lap managed to overtake the Red Bull of Sergio Perez to get the first 1-2 of our tenure here at Aston Martin. What does that all mean for the standings? We're looking very, very good. We're currently in P3 in the Constructors, 26 points behind Red Bull. And in the Drivers' standings, Pierre Gasly is in the title race. He's 30 points behind Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen didn't look like he could be stopped. He certainly was stopped last weekend in Catalonia. So we move on to this race, and it is the jewel in the crown of the F1 calendar. It is the Monte Carlo, the Monaco Grand Prix here, 78 laps round here. Fernando Alonso holds that record in the Aston Martin that we're currently occupying, so 112.7. Obviously the car attributes low and medium speed, vastly important around here. The expected strategy is a one-stop. You've got a choice. You can use a soft onto hard or medium onto hard. If there's any incidents around here, a safety car is very, very likely to be called. So I'm going to get through the practice sessions and we'll see you for the most important qualifying of the year at the Monaco Grand Prix.
Cars have been racing through Monaco's streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners. From the brake-heavy Le Rascasse to the treacherous Saint Devote, there are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. Okay then, let's get to it.
So here we go then, final flying laps in Q3. Pierre Gasly is currently P5, Fernando Alonso P6. We could do with a better position than that for the toughest race of the year, it must be said. It can be a bit of a procession. Fernando Alonso goes P4 on that final run. Pierre Gasly, it's all on him now. Is he going to improve? He is by a little bit, but only good enough for P6. So P4 for Fernando Alonso, not too bad at all. P6 for Pierre Gasly. Let's have a look at the strategy screen for Sunday. Right, so nothing too different on the strategy-wise. We're going to go with medium onto hard. That just seemed the optimal strategy. Bitting around lap 35, that seems ideal, and then hards all the way to the end. We have got a bit of cloud in the air, but we're not going to see any rain. P4, P6, quietly confident we can score some good points here. And like I said, we've just got to be reactive to any sort of safety car. So that's everything. Let's get to 5 red lights for the Monaco Grand Prix.
It's time for one of the most exciting races in the world. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go, and straight away Fernando Alonso is having a look at Charles Leclerc into Saint Devote, but Sergio Perez has managed to get up the inside of Fernando Alonso. Max Verstappen does manage to keep P1, then comes Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso looks like he's got it covered. He's got Sergio Perez covered on that soft compound tyre, but Perez will have the inside line into the next bend, and Sergio Perez has got him. Pierre Gasly down in P6. If we have a look at the tyre chasers, we've got Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez all on worn soft compound tyres. That could be quite difficult towards the end of this Grand Prix. We'll have to have a look at this, but I reckon the medium onto hard is the optimal strategy. So we'll keep an eye on everything, but Max Verstappen leads away. Alonso and Gasly, P5 and P6. Quick update, lap 3. Fernando Alonso has managed to stay with Sergio Perez. You'll probably notice at the bottom, we've had to use a bit of DRS to do that until the DRS was enabled, but now we've managed to do that. The plan is to try and keep pace with the top 4. We've basically dropped Valtteri Bottas, which is massively important. Charles Leclerc is on the medium compound tyre, backing Perez into both of our Aston Martin cars. Bottas down in P7 hasn't quite got the pace we have at this moment in time, and the longer we stay in DRS, the bigger that gap will become. And Kevin Magnussen equally is struggling to keep up with Valtteri Bottas, so it's quite spread out. But the interesting thing is going to be when these guys pit, are they going to have built enough of a gap Or are they going to be stuck between these kind of guys on the left-hand side here? All to play for, but Alonso's got to stay in that DRS. Lap 4. Just brought you back on lap 11 because Max Verstappen is in an absolute league of his own here. Look at the lap times on the left-hand side. He's half a second quicker than most people on track. It's ridiculous pace from Max Verstappen. We can only hope that Red Bull get it wrong with strategy, but he's got 3.3 seconds to Carlos Sainz in second. We're just about holding on to the back of Perez and Leclerc, which has really been our plan all along. We'll get this lovely shot round this long hairpin here. But yeah, it's not looking too bad for us. We're definitely in the fight with Leclerc. I think there's a podium chance for us if we get this strategy right. But at this moment in time, Max Verstappen is absolutely running away with it. Then we've got Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Alonso, Gasly, Bottas, Magnussen, Zhou and George Russell in 10th. Lap 23, and it's been quite a frustrating last few laps. We've been stuck behind Sergio Perez. As you can see, Charles Leclerc got past and very much has bolted away. We just can't quite seem to get Sergio Perez when it matters. And both our guys at this moment in time now are losing significant time. Not too much towards Bottas, but we need to get past Sergio Perez pretty quickly. If we have a look at the last lap times, he's a 1:15.9. There's not too much in it, but I believe we've got more points in this car at this moment in time. Lap 28, Max Verstappen is in the pits, and to be fair, I can't see him coming out too much further behind our guys. In fact, he hasn't. He's got a full pit stop on his teammate and the two Aston Martins. That is absolutely ridiculous. He's just been far too quick all afternoon. And we just cannot seem to get past this Red Bull of Sergio Perez either. It's not been our day so far. George Russell's in. The soft compound runners are starting to come in. I expect Sainz and Perez to be in very, very quickly. But at this moment in time, we have not had a really good race around Monaco at all. P5 and 6. And Bottas is closing up quickly. Lap 29. Lap 32, Charles Leclerc is in the pit, as is Pierre Gasly pitting from P4. I reckon we might come out around P9. Bottas is in, as is Magnussen. Alonso is out for one more lap. We're going to tell him to deploy, and also we will get him in for the next lap. So let's just get that sorted out. But Pierre Gasly, where is he going to come out? He's stayed ahead of Bottas in the pits, which is absolutely crucial. Okay, now let's see where he comes out. Does he get any traffic? It looks like he might, and he's going to get traffic as well. Sergio Perez is in front of him again, and Pierre Gasly has lost a bit of time there to the Mexican. 1.6 seconds the gap, where he has got 1.5 to Valtteri Bottas. We'll come back for Fernando's pit stop very shortly. Box, Alonso is in, lap after Gasly. Let's see where he comes out. Gasly now, has he caught up to Perez? He certainly has. So Gasly's on the back of Perez now. It's all about where Fernando Alonso comes out here. Let's have a look. Sergio Perez, they're just coming out of Rascas. Is Fernando Alonso going to jump both these guys? I've got a funny feeling he might do. Fernando Alonso, he's struggled to get past Sergio Perez all afternoon on track, but he's got past him now after the pit stop. And hopefully, if he blocks him off here, which he has done, beautiful work. There may be opportunity for Gasly. He's got to get past Stroll very, very quickly. Lap 34. Lap 35, key move for Pierre Gasly. He'd got to get past Lance Stroll, and he did it beautifully into Sandoval down the inside, and now he can chase after the two cars in front. Are we going to get a camera shot? We're not. So Pierre Gasly now 1.7 seconds to Perez. Alonso looking pretty comfortable on these tyres, but at this moment in time he's harvesting so we can get a bit more ERS when we need it. Well, as it stands, Max Verstappen leads by 16 seconds to Charles Leclerc. Then comes Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso P4, then Perez and Gasly battling it out for P5. At this moment, Stroll again is holding up Valtteri Bottas. It's not been Valtteri Bottas' day in Monaco. Just to show you, lap 42, Valtteri Bottas has lost 8.5 seconds to Pierre Gasly because he's been stuck behind Lance Stroll. Not particularly good at all. Fernando Alonso 12 seconds from Carlos Sainz, but the only man we're looking at for Fernando Alonso is Sergio Perez. But as Sergio Perez couldn't get past him in the first stint, he can't get past Fernando in this stint. Lap 42, all Fernando's got to do is hold off the Red Bull. No problem at all. Lap 59, and they sometimes say it's a bit of a procession around Monte Carlo. Well, it certainly is today. This Monaco Grand Prix has not been the most interesting. I bet you're going to get that from the size of the video today. The size doesn't matter, but you can clearly tell what sort of race it's going to be from the size of the video. Just a couple of little points to his sport. Max Verstappen's absolutely bossing it. Fernando Alonso has got 7% better tyres than Sergio Perez, which means Sergio Perez really is now struggling to get anywhere near overtaking Fernando Alonso. Pierre Gasly's got a similar situation, but he's in a nice, comfortable gap to Valtteri Bottas. Gap to Bottas is now 9 seconds. Barring a safety car, I don't see how this is going to be made much more interesting. Even further back, everybody's very much spaced out. It's just a lovely drive round Monte Carlo at the moment. They might as well have a pop into the casino and have a few games of blackjack. Kevin Magnussen is in P8, probably looking at driver of the day. He's had a good season so far, K-Mag, and he's doing it very well again today in P8 in the Haas. Guan Yu Zhou in the AlphaTauri as well in P9, looking very nice as well. Let's have a look what an Audi looks like driving around Monte Carlo. I'm just trying to get the video to be a little bit longer. The two Audis looking very resplendent there. The Marlboro McLaren looking very nice as well. Dead last is Nicholas Latifi in the Haas, Mick Schumacher and Tsunoda. We haven't seen much of the Williams, just to let you know. There they are, lap 60. Final lap, and we're just going to ride around with Max Verstappen because he's just had a cruise around Monte Carlo this afternoon. He's been absolutely in a league of his own, Max Verstappen. The Max Verstappen that dominated the first 4 races has dominated once again here in Monaco. Absolutely sublime drive from the Dutchman, and that will do it. P1 for Max Verstappen, pole position point, and P1 maximum points for Max. Fernando Alonso dropped Sergio Perez. There was a bit of a bike marker issue for Sergio Perez. He got stuck behind one of the bike markers that he won't be particularly happy with at all. But it has just meant that Fernando Alonso's had a nicer and more relaxed last few laps as he's coming round the final few corners here. Look at he's looking gorgeous in Monaco as well today. 22 degrees sunshine, lovely stuff. At 4:30 in the afternoon. Fernando Alonso is going to come round for P4. He has outperformed Pierre Gasly all weekend. Fair play to him. Cannot knock him at all. So Fernando Alonso comes down to get some decent points in the championship, and Pierre Gasly will ride on board with him as he comes round the final corner. He's going to get P6. He's going to lose a few points to Max Verstappen in the driver's standings today, but I don't think we can be too disappointed. I think we probably got the maximum from that we possibly could. We needed safety cars to really put us back in the fight. Let's get to the final classifications. And there we are then. Max Verstappen wins and pole position point. Maximum points from the weekend for him. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz second and third. The two Ferraris making up the podium. Alonso P4, Perez P5 and Gasly P6. The battle we focused on for most of the episode. Bottas in 7th. It wasn't his day at all. Magnussen P8. Guan Yu Zhou P9 and George Russell in the Mercedes P10. Finishing a lap down. My word. Driver standings. Max Verstappen gains 26 points. Puts him onto 158 points. Pierre Gasly on 110, 48 points now to Max. Carlos Sainz in P3. Fernando Alonso moves up a position above Sergio Perez into P5. Constructor standings, Red Bull do very well out of the weekend. 212 points there now, 187 for Ferrari and Aston Martin. We are 42 points back in the constructor standings. Not the most exciting episode, I can only apologise. We had a very exciting week last week. We'll move on to the next one. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Ta-ra!